It's AI.
Why?
It's Joe Hale Alstein.
What?
You're Joe Hale Alstein.
Who is that?
He's in a film called AI.
I thought you said say
Now my
I.
sixth sense telling me to off
So
you.
I said I.
No, I'm doing Euphoria.
The TV show?
No.
Marina's watching that right now.
Craig's a producer.
On the song or the TV show?
TV show.
Oh.
That's why it's
Question.
called this song. Yeah.
Do you remember when you and me and Alex went brewery hopping in Missoula? We went to like Big Sky, and then we went to Draftworks, and then we went to Kettle House and got M80 chicken. Why wasn't Marina with us? What was she doing that night? Was that the night she had her murder mystery party?
Maybe.
Do you remember?
Is she in Alaska or something?
She was not in Alaska. She was definitely in Missoula. I think it was the night of her murder mystery party.
That sounds right. And she killed the guy.
No, she was innocent. Watched Knives Out last night.
The original, very good.
Yeah, very
They're both
good.
great. They're both great.
Really enjoyed it.
How are we starting this bitch?
Probably movie.
Idea. So confusing.
Yeah, it was super good. Marina, I've wanted to watch it for a while, and it's at the top of Marina's list, so we rented it, and I was like, so many twists, like so many questions unanswered the whole time.
It's not on Netflix?
No, only Glass Onion is. Knives Out isn't streaming anywhere, so.
That's bizarre.
Yeah. They used to have it, but.
Yeah, the third one's going to be like with dinosaurs and shit.
And Daniel Craig.
He's always in it. He's Knife. He's the knife.
He is Knife.
He's Knife.
All right.
He's Knife.
He's Knife. Are you ready?
Wally, baby.
You're Wally?
Wally, baby.
Ollie.
I'll talk with Wally for the whole podcast.
Yeah.
The cinematography. That's excellent. No,
oh my goodness.
I'm ready.
All right. 1, 2, 3, play. Movie. Wally. We should have done that.
Who's your favorite Wally of all time outside of this Wally?
Probably Wally.
I've got a couple of contenders, some good Wallies.
Zerbiak.
That was going to be one of them. Him and the Beeves' older brother, the two I know.
Who's
Wally
the
and the Beaver? The Beaver. Leave it to Beaver.
All I could think of was Beavis and Butthead.
Have you never heard of Leave It to Beaver?
No, I've heard of Leave It to Beaver. I just never watched it.
You'd always go, golly, Wally.
What about, did you see that SNL skit with, I think it was Ryan Gosling, where it was Kenan Thompson doing like a talk show, but he was dressed up like Beavis, and then Mikey Day was dressed up as Butthead.
That was good.
That was a good skit. I really enjoyed that.
So that's your favorite Wally? Ryan Gosling is Beavis?
What a good connection. Answer. Yeah.
Good answer.
My favorite Wally? Yeah, it's probably going to be Ryan Gosling pretending to be Beavis from Beavis and Butthead in that one SNL skit.
It's big Wally energy. You know what else is big Wally energy?
Wally.
Wally fixing the Pixar light, which he does at the start.
Oh my god. Love the Pixar production animation, but he fixes the little light.
Of course he does. He's a doer.
He's captured your heart from the production logo, basically.
Yeah, I mean the character design, of course, Wally is amazing. Cute little robot bug man.
Little square robot, yeah. So it opens with "Hello, Dolly." That was planned. E. Hello Dolly musical numbers as we are seeing just scenes of outer space, and it is beautiful. It looks so much better than Space Chimp's outer space scenes.
Yeah, although they didn't do a terrible job, but yeah, the money used here
It looks so much better than Space Chimp's 2 Zartog Strikes Back
right.
space scenes. Yeah,
That's right. Yeah,
because there was that one
there was
moment in Space
but
Chimps
then
where
Ham ruined it. I'm pretty sure ruined a good moment.
they probably
As he's
shit a
want
banana
to.
peel or something.
Yeah, there's just so much more taste and soul and humanity in something like this than in Space Chimps, right?
Yes.
Like ostensibly the same medium for the same audience, tackling some of the same ideas.
Yep.
One of them is like a sensitive portrayal, and one of them is fucking monkeys shoving bananas up their asses.
Sending a monkey to Iraq.
The Seth loves that one.
So we zoom in on Earth after outer space. It's abandoned. Abandoned satellites and piles of trash. Trash skyscrapers.
And rubble. Yeah.
Built around the existing cities.
How did they get this? How did they do this?
You never really know. Oh, the skyscrapers.
Yeah. There's no people, though.
No. And there's not really anything else except for one sole robot named Wally remains. And he is still doing his job, compacting trash. And this is where the non-diegetic music becomes diegetic because he's listening to the Hello Dolly soundtrack. That's good.
We love a good non-diegetic to diegetic transition. We do. And yeah, and Wally's just like a blissfully going about his everyday. What makes him cool is he's got like a little personality because he likes to take home little trinkets.
Yeah, he
even has a home. That's weird enough as it is.
He does his stuff, but he gets like a garbage can lid. He's got his little cockroach buddy. He rides him back to home.
That's of course adorable.
And
thought he killed him at one point.
Thought he killed him when he runs him over. But the title drop, or he's doing trash after trash. And finally it's like, oh, it's the end of the day, time to pack up and go home. He closes his little cooler and gets ready to go home. And it just keeps zooming out. And you see he's atop one of these skyscrapers that he's built.
Yeah, all by himself.
Title drop.
After hundreds of years. It's great. It's amazing.
Goosebumps right now. I've got chicken skin, folks.
I think realizing too, think about it too, what makes Wally so amazing is his love of humanity and soul and those little tiny things, right? Because that's all that he actually really cares about. Trinkets that somebody have thrown away, and he's just like, this is beautiful. Like the best one, like when he gets the engagement ring out, and he's like, whoa, look at this, and then he throws the ring, and he's like, this box. There's some like love of humanity, but also love of curiosity and learning, just like a baby.
And as he's going back to his what was like the Wally storage area, it's a giant moving like tank, basically, but inside is like a
Star Wars thing,
pinwheel of little boxes for each of them to sleep in at night. He goes back there, and inside, or before you get that, this is where you get panning across scenes. You get like rumbling, like it's a shaky cam in an animated movie. You've got zooming. It's unique. It's new to animation.
Yeah.
And signs everywhere, from by and large, stating that Earth has too much trash and to leave Earth while robots clean up the humans' mess.
Sort of like a megacorp. Like
exactly.
If Walmart or Amazon ran the whole world, which they're close to doing, it seems like.
And it's consumer
employee.
Yeah, that's true. That's me.
They're calling you out.
I'm about to take over the world, is what this movie is telling me.
They're calling you out. Unless the little robot bot beats you.
It's consumerism at its finest.
That is worse, Brandon. We've reached hell on Earth. Consumerism has driven us off the planet.
Yeah, I guess finest isn't the right word. I mean, it's consumerism to a T, but that's not fine. That's not fine.
It's consumerism, what it's like to its end.
Yes. And as Wally rides back to his home, you see all these like decommissioned Wally units everywhere. Like he's even all humanity left. All of the fellow robots have left him too. It's just him.
which I think maybe was supposed to have happened. I think Wally was probably supposed to be dead. There's probably supposed to be nothing left on Earth, right?
Probably.
And Wally's just like cruising along.
He's
He
a little
never dies.
solar powered, and he's made his way by replacing his parts with some of the the burnt
He's
out
smart.
Wally units. Yeah, takes their
Yes.
treads, takes their eyes. He packs up. He's good. But
He's got lots of stories at his house, which we love.
and you on his ride back, you see commercials for By and Large. Those commercials are live action, like we said. It's what's his name? It's Fred Willard.
Yeah, Fred Willard.
He's
Love
like
Fred Willard.
president of By and Large, and yeah, it's just
He's great.
live action commercials.
That's unique too.
Very unique. And Wally lives in this giant storage unit, and he's filled each of like the little cubes with trinkets. He has it sorted out. Like, these are toys. This is
These are
my
cassettes.
this is
These
my
are
lighter
spare parts.
section. Yeah.
Yeah.
The fork and spoon cup, but he's got a spork. Great dilemma. Puts it in the
It
middle.
breaks him. Yeah. Wally's the best.
And he watches television. He's got the
The old
VHS tape
50s movies.
of Hello Dolly.
Yeah. And he wants to hold someone's hand.
He also has like a little play, rewind, record button. So every time he watches Hello Dolly, he presses that record so he can remember these moments. And yeah, all he wants to do is Ninja Turtle handshake.
Yeah, because that's what they do in Hello Dolly. He loves that. He wants to be human, kind of.
He just wants to hold someone's hand. It's so sad. He wants somebody to be in this world with him too. And he plays. Oh my God, I started crying immediately because he shuts down for the night. You know, he puts the little cockroach in the Twinkie bed and everything, which I thought was a good. Like, Twinkies never expire. Cockroaches won't die after the nuclear fallout.
That's
Those
the
are
only ones left.
the two things left with him. That's great.
Yeah.
But he goes into his little cube form, like tucks himself all in as he plays Hello Dolly on his little thing and rocks himself to sleep in his little. I was like, come on.
Yeah. Wally's the most lovable guy of all time, of course.
He still goes to sleep in his designated cube spot too. Like, come on.
Come on. It's a little scary every time. There's like a tinge of fear every time Wally shuts down too.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a slight little bit of he might not ever charge back up again. It's great when he does.
And there's been no words except for like the Hello Dolly stuff and like commercials playing in the background.
Yeah.
And he already has so much character.
And that's great. And that little first chunk of the movie could have won awards as a little short movie right there.
Oh yeah.
That's all you need.
So Wally ends up being stuck inside this. He had to rush back to his home because there was a giant sandstorm.
Yeah, I barely made it back in time.
He's solar powered, so he's got to recharge. And I love low battery Wally's just like any Monday morning person waking up all groggy, like stiff, just trying to put on his tread. And then he goes up to the rooftop and uses the solar panel. Nice little Apple startup sound.
Mm-hmm. I noticed that too. You're right.
And he's back to work, finding sorts of trinkets. There was fire extinguishers, the little paddle boards. You said the diamond ring box, which is hilarious. Mm-hmm. But most importantly, he finds a plant.
Wow.
Just a
Yeah, and he knows it's special, right?
It's a little green sprout inside of a refrigerator.
He knows it's special, so he grabs it, he repots it, little boot.
Yep. And he gets back to his home, and as he gets back there, or as he's going back, he sees a little red dot on the ground, just like any cat or dog infatuated with a laser pointer. Each time he tries to touch it, it moves around and zooms away. So he chases it all the way out to this giant clearing outside the city, basically. Mm-hmm. But a bunch of other dots are circling in on him, closing in on him in a giant circle.
Yeah, it's frightening for sure. And it's some sort of spaceship, it turns out.
Yeah, because he gets to the
crashing
dot.
Down on poor Wally. Yeah.
It stopped moving, and he looks up, and it's a rocket ship coming down. So he digs for safety underneath it so he doesn't burn to death. And out of this ship, scans a little area, and it pops out a very sleek, all-white designed robot. This is Eve.
Very Apple-coded, yeah.
Very.
She's slick.
She is, yeah, she's Apple for sure. She immediately starts up and starts roaming the area and scanning things.
Wally's like, ooh, could be a friend maybe.
Could be a friend. Could be somebody to hold a hand with.
Which ultimately what he wants. A little horny
Uh,
bugger, yeah.
Because he watches her from a distance. He's completely infatuated with her. And I was like, I asked myself, is he in love or has he been alone for so long that he just wants companionship? A little bit of both.
You don't know if he's in love yet. I think he's just like, yeah, this could be someone I could chill with, I talk to, whatever, beep at.
I mean, she's a hot robot.
Yeah, that too. But I don't know if that's necessarily on Wally's mind at the moment.
Sure. And then she really shows her power. She starts flying around at like nearly like supersonic speed, like breaks the sound barrier behind her, scanning everything as she goes. The music behind it was gorgeous. I immediately was like, this has to be a Thomas Newman score. It reminded me so much of Finding Nemo.
Interesting. I thought it was interesting. It is a lovely score, of course, the whole way through, but that she also is like has little moments of flourishes too, right? Like some of the robots in here don't just like do their jobs all day long. Like Wally gets little trinkets. She like dances and likes to swirl around like a little ballerina sometimes in the air.
Mm-hmm. Or like when Wally eventually introduces some of his trinkets to her, like her infatuation with turning light bulbs on or the bubble wrap or things like that.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah.
So
their love of humanity.
She's just flying around and spinning and everything. Wally makes a mistake and drops something while he's watching her. She turns and just blasts.
Oh, he's fine. And she keeps going.
She's incredibly strong, but he was safe. She shot through a boulder.
Yeah.
He's alive.
She's OP.
The cockroach runs up to her, and she turns around and blasts the cockroach. Wally's like, ah!
Yeah, but he's fine. He's a cockroach.
The cockroach lives, yeah. Laughs nervously, and she hears his laughter, starts blasting at him again. Gun pulled, she asks him who he is, but he doesn't answer, so she goes on her way, and he's like, oh.
Yeah.
He lost his moment.
Forever, that's the movie.
And this is where you really start to figure out that he might actually kind of be in love, because music can say 1,000 words. LaVion Rose plays, come on.
Sure. It's a lovely song.
It's gorgeous. And he plays as he's watching her scan things, and he watches her sleep, but when she sleeps, she like boots down. He continues to hurt and embarrass himself over and over, but she doesn't concern herself with him. She has a directive, but he's in love.
He's like a high school freshman. Yeah.
And she's the lead cheerleader.
Hot senior. Yeah. Exactly.
He's the backup offensive.
Dynamic.
He's the backup left guard. She's the head
saxophone.
See if they'll fall in love on Robot Love Island.
Wally definitely is an artist.
Yeah.
Wally's not playing football.
Eve has started to show some frustration, growing more and more as she's not finding anything she's scanning for. When she scans something, it'll do beep beep beep, red little red dot. And she has her last straw when like a cargo shipping thing magnet catches her, and she's like stuck in the air trying to get away from the magnet. So she just starts shooting boats after boats.
Yeah, she loses it. I thought it was going coastal a little bit. Yeah.
And this scene was like full. We mentioned in the Faxium that they consulted Roger Deakins for things, but like as she blew up all the boats and the magnets, and it's a silhouette of Eve and Wally in the foreground with just a background full of boats on fire, I was like, it reminded me of something right out of 1917.
Totally, yeah. Or Blade Runner or something, anything, yeah.
Oh my god, it was so good. And we're 23 minutes in. And it does. We get the first words, the real words, as she looks over to Wally and asks about his directive. He shows her what he does. Ta-da!
Adorable fuck.
He asks her back. It's classified. She's a top secret bad bitch, you know?
She's not no janitor.
And they introduce each other to themselves. They name each other Wally and Eve, and they giggle until a sandstorm starts to come. Wally tries to get her to like get the hell out of there, but she's got a gun pulled on him because he's tugging on her arm. So he shuts down and she's stuck in the storm. But then you see just her little eyes being guided through the storm all the way back to his home. He braved it for her.
Yeah. And then he starts showing her all his shit.
And how they work. She's so sophisticated. She's actually fixing a lot of the things, but he views it as her like ruining them.
Yeah. He's kind of a rube.
He's a rube. He's very ruby.
Yeah.
And at one point I remember she starts Wally shows her how to like do a little dance, like a spin with the garbage can lid hat. So she starts to spin, hits him, he goes flying.
Yeah.
Dent
He
in the
goes like
wall.
1 billion miles an hour.
Comes down, she broke his eye.
But he's got lots of extra ones.
Plugs it in. This is the most Wally characteristic thing ever, where he does the little beep, 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 adjusting his eye height and everything like that.
Yeah. That's when you know it's really Wally.
Puts his new eye in, and she gets his lighter. He hands her it, and she clicks it. Lights a little flame right as Hello Dolly is playing, reaching the hand-holding romantic part of the song.
Aww.
And he's just staring at her, like reaching out to hold her hands. And everything is kind of casual and fun while they're in there until he shows her his newest thing, the plant.
Directive.
She scans it. Instead of the red beep, her body hovers like the goddamn Exorcist. Everything turns green. She sucks the plant inside of herself and enters basically a sleep mode.
Like a stasis, yeah. Which freaks Wally out.
Yeah, I
Saddens the boy.
The one thing that he's known in this other person that he's known in this life is now
inexplicably dead.
Right?
Or comatose.
He's so concerned by that she's gone. He waits by her day and night. He tries to get her sunlight like he does. He doesn't leave her side. He's holding umbrellas for her in the rain, covering her up with tarps during sandstorms. He gets some Christmas lights, tethers it to him and her, and takes her to explore the city. They go on romantic boat ride dates and sunset dates. And one day, it hurt so bad because he looked at her up on top of his little home. He gets his cooler and he packs up to go back to work. I mean, he's kind of given up on everything, leaving her back at home. But, of course, the day he packs up to go to work is the day the spaceship comes back.
A homing missile back for Eve, yes.
Yeah, coming to collect.
Her pod back.
He's got to rush back to her or risk losing her forever. She gets loaded inside the spaceship with all the other robots of her kind, and he starts scaling the ladder on the outside when the rocket takes off.
It was such a ride, I guess. Wally.
He did a full-on Tom Cruise Mission Impossible stunt. He rode the side of a space shuttle.
It's crazy. And the cricket watches him go.
He did have to leave the cricket behind. That was also kind of sad.
A little bit. But the kid, he wouldn't have survived the journey.
No. And the rocket
that'll be a good treat later.
Breaks through the atmosphere of space garbage and enters space. And he's just watching. He's right outside her window. Like trying, even though she's asleep, pointing at things for her to see. And
he's a little, he's like a 7-year-old in love. He's adorable.
You get like solar flares. You get one of the iconic scenes of him rubbing his hand through Saturn's rings. The reflection of Milky Way in his eyes. It's true visual artwork.
Yeah. And Wally's just like sort of like dipping his toe in it all.
Yeah.
Right.
And their spaceship that I thought was huge comes around the corner to see the Axiom in the distance.
Of course, yeah. Which is pales in comparison. It's like Texas or whatever.
I was gonna say it's like the size of a state.
Yeah,
which
makes sense.
Yeah,
it contains all the humans on it.
They board, and immediately robots get to work taking the ship apart, analyzing the robots and cleaning everything. I loved the music here too. It was
like little
diddle
jobs.
diddle 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 diddle. It was like playful but
Well, it's like a new
methodical.
world. Yes,
Yeah, like the robots are. But
it's mystical and playful and methodical. And of course, we meet our superstar, the cleaning robot too.
Mo,
The best character. Yeah.
Mo's great.
Wow.
I mean, it's a ship full of robots. It's a highly efficient. Nothing ever goes wrong. Wally's a cog in this efficient machine now.
I Yeah, and I love that the robots are like they're like the immigrants on this ship, right? They're not like perfect robots. They all have like faces and they all like are taking smoke breaks and stuff. They're so personalized.
The one that ran the elevator up to the cockpit was so over
Mhm.
his job, just pressing buttons.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, they are.
Versus
They're all
like
just here to work.
any other movie, I think would be like it's just like a nameless, faceless droid, right?
Yeah.
This is like
And
a
so,
bunch of fucking Gary Oldmans
ooh, I love Gary Oldman.
characters.
I think he's super underrated.
He's got an Oscar,
I know he does, and I
isn't he?
still think, yeah, he got it for The Darkest Hour.
Just sunburnt my faces.
Where are you sunburned?
They work outside in the sun.
Yeah, but it's early enough. It's not that hot out yet.
My face says otherwise.
I guess that's true. So yeah, Wally's a cog in this efficient machine as he's not in like an
He's a cock in
EV.
the machine.
He's not in an EV unit in rest mode, and
He got his
security
cock stuck in the
robots.
machine. That's right.
Security robots come to take care of him
Please.
when they scan Eve and find she has a plant with her, and they take her away immediately. So all this taking apart and cleaning everything gets thrown by the wayside with this new evidence that they found.
New direct. Yeah. Higher priority.
And Wally
And
takes
so
off.
she gets whisked away. Yeah.
He's following her, but little Mo, the cleaning robot, sees the dirt trail. He's got to keep the ship clean. I mean,
Yeah. And Wally's like the dirtiest thing of all time. So he's literally just following Wally's trail around cleaning it.
he's a swamp. He's a trash man. He's a swamper.
Yeah. And yeah, Mo's just like, fuck, I got it. This fucking guy. Like he hates Wally so much too.
Watching his mannerisms as he tries to like look down at the line he's supposed to ride, and then like does a little hop off the
Yeah.
line.
It's brilliant.
Foreign contaminant. And then he just goes with a little whatever that thing his cleaning machine was. So while he's making his way through the ship, but it's so automated, he can't keep up with the other robots to stay with Eve. It was like, without ruining the flow of everything around, it was like a busy highway, basically, trying to get into the line with everybody
Well,
else.
it's mostly like fat humans. Yeah.
It's robots and very obese humans. Yeah.
Which I like the element of the story that the humans outside of like the captain and like maybe like one other guy for a second don't do anything in the movie. It's all robots versus AI versus robots, right? They're the driving forces in the character with a minor exception of a guy who falls out of a chair.
There's three humans that do anything in this, and that's it. Transformers, you think it's Transformers against Transformers? No, it's almost all Josh Duhamel and Tyrese.
Correct. They hit their ratio right in this. That's right.
It's like can Josh Duhamel take down Optimus? No, he can't. But he does.
He can in the movies. He
does.
Mark Wahlberg can do sword battle with him.
We're 39 minutes and 34 seconds in, and we have the first true word spoken from a non-robot or commercial as Wally bumps into a very obese man in a hover chair, talking virtually with the man that's just right next to him.
Isn't that not a commentary on our society, Brandon?
And he's a horde of humans like this. Everyone has become so reliant on technology and automation that they're no longer independent. Everyone is so obese and fixed to the virtual world for entertainment and sustenance and communication that they're completely oblivious to even Wally right next to them. They just kind of like thinking he's a drink robot or something or a coaster. He's dirty.
They're essentially just like cattle, right? Stuck in their fucking feed tubes.
Sure.
Man. Yeah.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah, brother. Men are cattle and sheep.
But he does, Wally, interact with a few humans in his attempt to track down Eve. He bumps into John earlier. And when he's trying to sneak by this girl Mary to get to Eve, he disrupts her screen in front of her. And she starts to admire like the beauty of the ship and everything around her, realizing that she's never even known some things that the ship had to offer, like the goddamn pool. The biggest pool
Well,
I've
of
ever
course, no one
seen.
ever goes there. Yeah.
You're
A
talking about
soul swam in it in hundreds of years.
there were hundreds of people at the pool
No one
floating
was
away.
swimming in it, though.
No, they were floating
Yeah,
above it.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
Exercise be damned. They would drown if they fell in the pool. Almost assuredly.
but water is one of the easiest load bearing, like swimming and water aerobics, one of the easiest load bearing exercises. So that might be best for
But
them.
they don't know how to swim.
Yeah, they can go in the shallow end and bounce around. That's good aerobics.
That would be good for them. But that would be good for them. I still contend there'd be drowning deaths.
No, I bet there would. We got to have robot lifeguards.
They probably do. Another amenity.
Yeah. And so she starts to notice the beauty things and interacts with Wally. And it's all these little details that, like, Wally, like we said, the elevator clerk automated robot, Wally waves at him. And the clerk just, like, looks at his
Baffles him.
hand and does a little motion.
Yeah.
It was like, he's never thought about doing that before. Waves
He's just hated his job all day. Never
little
thought about
T-Rex arm.
personalizing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never thought about having any agency. Did these robot droids.
The D's nuts.
These nuts.
So Wally and Eve end up going all the way up to the captain's quarters with Captain McCrae and Otto.
It's Hal.
It's Hal from 2001: A Space Odyssey. It's
exactly like Hal.
It is 100% Hal.
Same red dot and everything. With a steering wheel around him this time, right?
Correct.
Yeah, but it's Hal.
It is Hal.
And Jeff Garland.
Otto continues to try and tell the captain about the specimen that's been found, but the captain is ironically the one that's on autopilot. He's slowly getting out of bed, letting the robots take over for him. It's like noon, doing the normal daily logs.
Yeah, he doesn't really have to do anything except for like the daily announcement.
Yeah. He finally notices while doing the announcement on his dashboard a flashing green button. He's like, what is this? He presses it, which puts his command center in a lockdown, all the windows shut. And
green mode, yeah.
Green mode.
It's green mode.
It plays a recording of the president of By and Large way back when they started the Axiom program.
He's skinny. He's live action.
He is live action. He's skinny. It's Fred Willard. Also, do you think that this president of By and Large was the president of the United States, like you said, like a corporation taking over?
I think if not in name, definitely in power, right? I think it's like, even if he's not president, he's in charge of everything, right? Like the president would just be a puppet of his. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was like propositioned. His office was. It made it look like he was the president as well. So probably they merged at some point.
Giving press conferences like the president and things. Yeah.
With the American flag and the By and Large logo. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he plays this message, and what the captain's going to have to do is place the plant in the ship's plant compartment, and it will automatically take them back to Earth because it is now shown signs that it can sustain life on its own. So,
yep,
everything's
off they go. And they waited like, what they say, like 700 years or something like this.
It was
for this moment.
The 700th anniversary of their 5-year voyage.
Yeah, exactly. Hilarious. They just keep like going in circles forever. Eternity, it seems.
Yeah. And as they're all learning about this new protocol that they have to do, Eve finally notices Wally in the room with her. She panics as she's got to perform her duties on the ship. But when they open her up to take the plant from her, nothing is inside.
False alarm, it seemed.
Wally
Fucked
saw it.
up.
Wally saw it. He saw the plant go in. He sat by her side. So everyone on the ship goes back to normal, and Eve is taken to the repair room because she's a faulty.
Also, he's saying she has shit, but she doesn't. Yeah.
And Wally is finally spotted inside too. And instead of seen as one of the ship's robots, he's taken away to be cleaned, which is right next to the repair room.
Yeah.
Wally, on his way out, shakes Captain McCrae's hand, leaves dirt behind in his hand.
So, yeah.
So the captain analyzes the dirt, and now he gets to learn so much about Earth and all the great things
Now
that he
he's
never knew about.
yeah, which is hilarious because now he's on a Wikipedia deep dive, right? He's clicking every link he sees at the first time. Whoa, what is this? A hoedown? Whoa!
A hoedown was so. He's like, you can grow pizza in the ground, and they have hoedowns. And I'm like, what? How did you
He's
get to
going
this
back to
moment?
Earth. Yeah, exactly.
You scan some dirt, and you're learning about
A
hoedown.
very relatable moment.
Next would have been whose line is it anyway?
Yeah,
The Irish
a
hoedown.
relatable moment.
It's very true. And so they get to their cleaning rooms and repair rooms. There's like this stained glass window that separates the two rooms. Wally's sitting inside a little cell as he's watching Eve
Getting tested and shit. Yeah,
get tested, but just from the silhouette of the stained glass, it looks like she's being murdered. They're taking off her arms and
that's
decapitating
right.
her, and
A horrific sight for young Wally. Yeah,
they do like a thing that tickles her, and she screams like, "Ah!" He's like being tortured back there, martyrs style.
bad movie.
Great movie.
Bad movie.
That's what Wally was watching, was his own martyrs,
Kind of.
and he didn't like it.
No, I'm with Wally.
You and Wally both agree the same on martyrs, but um he's thinking she's being murdered, and accidentally he breaks through the door, grabs her arm, and accidentally fires her gun and breaks the security measures, releasing all the faulty robots.
Yeah, it's a jailbreak. So I think Wally and the rest of them are fucking fugitives now.
And for the most part, like a lot of the faulty robots are ones that just kind of like did their job. Like one,
They seem like just like mentally ill, I guess, a little bit.
two. He has a one flew over the cuckoo's nest kind of crew.
Yeah, exactly.
One did too much makeup. One hit tennis balls too frequently. One, instead of it being a vacuum, it sucked everything out of its dustbin. But the one was just like floating arms that just like beat anybody up.
That one was sick. Yeah.
I don't
What
know
could that have
what.
been for? I think it was like a massager or something, right? That's
Just
what it
beat.
was. And they just learned to just fuck people up. Yeah.
He's like a gorilla, basically. He was all
I think it
armed.
was like a massager, but I don't. That's a
Massager. I hardly.
great character. Massager, I hardly knew.
That's what I was wondering, was what was his original job? Because all he did was just smash.
I think he was a massager
Okay.
or pulverizer or something.
Security robots see all the fugitives on the run. They scan even Wally and send messages out to every passenger that these are rogue robots and are wanted criminals, basically.
Which is terrifying for the cops, but like the people aren't going to do anything. They don't give a shit. They don't look around, except for the two that are wandering now.
And Eve's so fed up with Wally, she brings him to the escape pods and is going to try and send him back to Earth by himself so she can do her job. But he just wants to be with her and hold her hand. He will not stay in the pod. He exits it before she sends him off. But they have to hide as one of the security drones comes in and boots up the escape pod and puts the plant inside of it to send it back to Earth.
Uh-oh. For Eve. Can't do that, Wally.
Where did they get it?
Wally had it.
No, this other robot did.
Which robot?
The little tiny security guard.
That's right.
One with the red tractor beam thing.
Yeah. Let me just snatch it from him.
Did he open her up while she was sleeping? He went inside her while Eve was sleeping.
On the ride up?
Yeah, probably.
Took sinister implication.
Yeah, took something out of her without her consent.
I thought Wally got it.
No, yeah, he drops it in that escape pod, and Wally sees it in there, so he goes in to grab the plant because someone's tampered with the evidence, but it's too late as the escape pod is shot and he's sent out into space on his own with the plant.
Uh-oh.
So Eve takes a little escape chute to go after him, but the
He's pretty
pod was set
fast.
to automatically self-destruct. He tries everything he can to stop it, but to no avail. And Eve watches in outer space as the pod blows up.
Very sad. Did you cry?
I did not cry. Maybe the first time I watched it, but not now.
When you
Because
thought.
she thinks he is dead. Bulls are trading two-time all-defensive guard Alex Caruso to the Thunder for Josh Giddey.
Ooh, weird.
Yeah, that's kind of a weird one. Anyway, she sees it blow up. She thinks he's dead when he zooms by using a fire extinguisher as a thruster to come get to her.
Flies by. This is my favorite scene in the whole movie, I think.
This is maybe one of my favorite scenes in all of cinema.
The fire extinguisher ballet that they do here.
Oh my God, because not only is he alive, he saved the plant for her inside, and she screams in excitement.
She's elated.
Hugging and spinning him, and then even gives him a little...
Zaps him, will kiss him.
Little static kiss.
Which just literally kills him. Yeah.
He's frozen in space.
Which is funny because it's like, is that from the electricity or is that from the kiss? I think we all know it's from the kiss, right? He's literally just like fainted.
Yeah, she didn't kill him there. But my note here is now comes the most beautiful space dance between two of them as they fly together around the ship with the white fire extinguisher beam and the blue beams behind.
Yeah.
Dancing around like the thrusters of the ship, an array of movement and light to that beautiful score. And Captain John, the whole time, is like learning about hoedowns and stuff, and Otto's making him go to sleep, and he's define dancing, like whispering to it, and then it's like giving the definition of dancing as they're doing this, and oh my God.
Yeah, that's how you merge.
I was
the two storylines.
Balling.
Of course. Yeah. Anytime you can have characters do like a space ballet. Right?
La La Land.
Exactly what I was thinking, La La Land.
And Mary, one of the robots that Wally, or one of the people Wally had interacted with, was actually not using any like screens in front of her. She's just like looking out at the stars, enjoying the view now that she's not wired in. She sees Wally and Eve go by, and she's so excited she's starting to back up in her chair, bumps into John, and he's like, "Oh, I know that guy. That's Wally." And they're like kind of they're kind of laughing, and then they touch hands, and then these two humans just kind of hold hands as they watch them dance in space together as well. I mean, like, come on.
They found their humanity again.
Come on.
In the robots.
Inside. And so Wally and Eve break back into the Axiom with the plant, and she is on a mission to avoid security drones and finish her directive. She brings the plant straight up to the captain. He's ecstatic, and he wants to see what Earth is truly like. So he plugs like this little device into her to see what she has seen as like a projection.
Big Brother style.
Yeah. And when he sees it, it is a bleak world compared to what he has been learning.
Yeah. Well, that Earth is, they were lied to or something.
Yeah, I mean, it's still a giant trash pit. There was just one singular plant, you know? And as he watches sadly, Eve is also watching and sees all the moments that she had missed when she was in rest mode with Wally.
How much Wally cares for her. Yeah.
I mean, he was taking care of her, and she's even like holding her own hands together like Wally does as she watches it.
Yeah.
My note, I can't handle this movie. I'm crying. It's like the 4th time I'm crying.
No, of course. Yeah, me too.
I think this is when I messaged you guys in the chat. I was like, can't do it.
This is crazy.
And so practicing his hand holding because she left Wally down at the bottom. Wally makes an effort to climb the trash chute because he can't fly. He's just got to do a 200-foot climb.
He's Tom Cruise style.
Go straight up to the captain's quarters and find Eve. And although gloomy, the captain, after watching this, realizes something was able to grow, so we have to go home.
It's time. We have to fix this mess. Yeah.
And as he tries to take the plant to insert it to go home, Otto stops him. He tells him they cannot go home, and the reasoning for that is classified even to the captain.
He's like, but I'm the captain.
I'm in charge
of the ostensible leader of everything.
Pretty much, yeah, the world at this point, like
all of humanity.
How is it classified to me?
No, Otto's in charge of all of humanity instead.
Because
he's Hal.
Yes, the captain had ordered Otto to show him the classified information, which was a follow-up video from the president of By and Large, saying that Operation Colonization is a failure. Earth is basically uninhabitable with toxic air now. He goes on, puts a gas mask on, says, go into full autopilot mode, never return home. You guys are going to be in space for the rest of your life.
The rest of eternity. Yes.
Yeah, not just their lives. And Captain refuses to listen, as the message was 700 years ago. This plant shows that things can change.
Yeah.
And that they have changed.
In the pudding. Otto says no way. Fuck him.
He gives a heroic speech. He looks at the photos of the captains over throughout the years as they get heavier and heavier. But as they're getting heavier, Otto is coming closer and closer to the foreground of it, showing that he's been more in charge.
Visual storytelling
with each iteration
more
of captain. Yeah. And he's the captain. He's taking him home. And him and Eve are going to fight Otto for the plant, but they grab the plant and they throw it down the trash chute.
No.
Gone. They can't go back home.
Means like a little robot to go get it or something.
Wally.
He was there the whole time.
He's climbing the chute. He's
on his
basically near the top, just literally arms and legs straight out climbing it. Saves the plant on his head and hides the plant inside of him. But Otto comes up, shocks him to death. Like he actually is like
for real. Not from a kiss. He didn't kiss him.
Destroyed his motherboard, falls back.
And then down goes to the garbage chute he goes, yeah.
It was kind of a graphic death scene, too.
Yeah. Two deaths almost. The zapping and then the falling.
Oh, back-to-back films with an electrocution death?
That's right.
We love a good electrocution death on this podcast.
It's like a no holds barred, yeah.
The and then pushes him down the trash chute. He falls a mile into like the real trash room.
The landfill in space.
Yeah. He also put Eve into rest mode and locked up the captain. Like Otto's has full control now.
I'll play any games.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Denzel.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, Mongo.
So they're both in the landfill together, where trash is expelled via airlock from the ship. Using giant wallies, the Wall R's.
Wall R's. They're huge, but they're the exact same as Wally.
They have a character. They have full personality, yeah.
They're just like fucking big meathead Wallies, yeah.
They are both about to be expelled from the ship via airlock when Eve saves the two of them by flying to the doors with the help of Mo. This little cleaning robot has been following them the whole way down to the trash.
And it finally pays off. His little cleaning buddy. The robots help each other, whether they know it or not.
Yeah, I know, right? And Wally is dying.
Yeah.
Eve is trying to find him a new microchip, but no luck. He still has the plant and tries to get her to finish her directive, but she tosses the plant inside.
Doesn't care anymore.
Yeah.
She's changed form. She only wants Wally to be okay.
And I know, right? She even holds her hand out to his to hold his hand. She's like, "This
Yeah.
is my new directive. This is my new
Yeah.
directive."
That's beautiful. The directive of love, Brandon.
My note is I have no more tears left. As
They've all
she's
been tried.
just
Yeah.
begging for him to hold her hand, and he's like, "Finish the job, girl." But he's not gonna let her abandon it, even if he gets to be with her. So she goes on a mission. They're gonna get back to the top. They're gonna go back to Earth. They're gonna save everything. She goes on a mission, just blowing things up with the help of Gorilla Man Robot, just
Just
destroying
beating the
security.
fuck out of yeah.
And Captain was kind of smart. He hacked the comm systems to alert Wally and Eve what to do and where to bring the plant. He then fakes having the plant talking to Otto, using the picture of Wally and Eve holding
That's
it
smart.
to
Yeah.
get Otto down to his floor and fight
Freaks
him
out.
to take the ship that is his.
Which is not really a fair fight, but come on, McRae. I've
Super
asked you, matey.
super obese human versus robot.
Who controls it all? Yeah.
Yeah, but he's got the weight advantage. They're in
He
different weight
doesn't
classes.
know anything. Yeah. Lean
Actually, I
on
don't
him.
know. Otto is part of the Axiom, so I think Otto has the
He
weight
could
advantage.
lean on. He could lean on him.
Yeah. um, Captain activates the sequence that sends him back to Earth, and all that's required to do so is the plant now. It closes up like all the areas, puts little helmets on all the people in their chairs, gets them all to come into the pool area, and out opens the plant specimen tray. So they just got to
Which
give
is
it there.
gigantic. Yeah.
Um, Otto, while he's fighting Captain McRae, spins the wheel so hard one way that
Plants the
all
whole ship.
people come flying out of their chairs, smush to one side of the ship, and in doing
Like
so,
1,000 tons of force right there.
I know, right? Wally also gets bumped and loses the plant amidst the.
No. It's body surf it out of there.
It's hidden amidst them. There's no way they're gonna find it. And then Otto beats Captain McRae, starts to cancel the return home protocol, and the plant retrieval spot that came out of
Like
the
going
ground,
back into the earth. Yeah. Back into the ground.
closing.
Until
So Wally, who's on his deathbed, is there just like trying his hardest to just hold this thing up from going back into the ground.
mm-hmm.
Even if it crushes him into the floor.
Yeah. He's one last Hail Mary for the directive.
So, Captain being thrown aside is watching Otto just slamming this recall button and killing Wally. So he becomes the hero as he stands on his
Learns how to
own
walk again. Yeah.
to the tune of Thus Spoke Zarathustra.
Pretty epic to take down Hal.
2001.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
This is him learning to walk like the monkeys, learning to use tools.
Just like the star baby, learning what it's like to be a star baby.
And the starman waiting up above.
That's McRae.
How was that? How was that, David Bowie?
That's pretty good. That's like an 8 out of 10.
Now do your grimace.
I'll never do grimace. Never.
This is so funny. But he turns off Otto and corrects the wheel. Everyone goes shifting back to their spots. And Eve takes off to save Wally, but without the plant.
Just for Wally, just for Lucy.
Moe's scanning the area to find the plant, and all the humans and the robots work together to pass the plant up to Eve as quickly as possible. She inserts it into the system, and they go into hyperdrive back to Earth.
Everything's reversed, but is Wally okay?
No, Eve's holding his corpse.
Yeah, he's crushed.
They land on Earth. The red dots appear. The little cockroach comes running to the landing site. The ship docks, and everyone's like trying to walk onto Earth to see the planet when Eve comes whirring by at supersonic speed.
Over to Wally's trailer. Yeah.
she's holding his body, and she's using all the old pieces that he's got. She's replacing his wheels and his eyes, everything, including his little motherboard chip that was fried.
But that's how you do the trick.
Shoots a hole in the roof and opens the solar panels, and he comes back to life.
But is he going to be the same old Wally?
She holds her hand to him, and he just turns around and ignores her, and immediately
he's gonna go
makes trash cubes out of his own trinkets. Like,
no, Wally
runs over the cockroach and ignores the Hello Dolly that's playing. Like, come on.
Yeah, it's worse than death. Yeah.
Watching him make a trash cube out of his own trinkets and not even know who Eve is anymore.
Worse than death.
With the new microchip, he's not Wally. He's just another robot. And Eve is screaming at him as she realizes she lost the one that she loves.
Terrible.
She, even though she knows everything's gone, she holds his hand, leans in, gives him a little static kiss, and then turns around to fly away. But her hand is stuck.
He's back.
His fingers start to close in and grip hers. And then his eyes do the little
Wally thing again.
Little Wally adjustment thing. And he says her name. He notices him holding hands. And he braces her as the Hello Dolly plays. And everything's kind of at peace again as Captain McCrae teaches the passengers how to recolonize and
pizza soon. Yeah.
And make pizza. And as it zooms out back across the city, you see a field of plants starting to bloom. And that is the end of Wall-E.
Right. It's the Snowpiercer ending yet again.
This is Snowpiercer ending yet again.
Rebuilt civilization back on Earth, taking their first steps. It's so good. Yeah, of course, all the tears. And Wally gets to be with Eve forever.
And the end credits are sketches, like little storyboard sketch drawings of humans and robots working together to like restore Earth back to its original state too.
Yeah. Like sort of like a mythologized version.
Mythological.
Mythologicalized. And that's Wall-E.
And that's Wall-E. We could have done that for the fucking February's masterpiece. Instead of the space nuts, that could have easily been a Love Lads.
Aww. Shall we take a brief moment of silence for Wall-E?
Ooh, I like that. Let's take a brief moment of silence.
Thank you, Wall-E.
E-Man.
Okay.
E-Man. You have quotes at all?
Nope. I'm protesting, remember?
Is it still because of Gaza?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fuck that. Fuck that shit. On both sides. Okay.
I have 6 quotes. You're like, oh, this is a great film. Why do you not have quotes? There's no words.
Yeah, for most of it.
It's like a silent film. Goodness. 4 from IMDb. I only took 2 while watching. The 2 that I took while watching were, attention, Axiom residents. Try blue. It's the new red.
They all immediately get automatically switched to it. Yeah, they go, oh.
And then the other one, Captain McCrae waking up and telling Otto, 12:30? Otto, why didn't you wake me for morning announcements? I mean, honestly, it's the one thing I get to do on this ship as captain.
Yeah. It's just his one job. Yeah.
Captain at the end of the movie goes, kids, this is called farming. You're going to grow all kinds of plants, vegetable plants, and pizza plants.
We love the pizza plants.
As captain, I already kind of said this one, is going to bed and everything's being shut down. He just goes, Psst, Captain. Define dancing. And then you see Wally and Eve outside the window, and it's dancing. A series of movements involving two partners where speed and rhythm match harmoniously with music. I'm like, come on.
Yeah, the perfect. That's what movies are for, right? The marriage of words and music and visuals.
This is what movies is made of.
This is what movies.
This is what movies is made of.
That's right.
And after all that, he really did, bro. He really did. Cat's what? Man, Cat is so zesty.
Super zesty.
Two more penultimate here. Eve goes, Eve, Eve, and then Wally goes, Eva,
Eve,
Eve, and then a spat between Captain and Otto. Captain goes, out there is our home, Otto, and it's in trouble. I can't just sit here and do nothing. That's all I've ever done. That's all anyone on this ever blasted ship has ever done. Nothing. And Otto goes, on the axiom, you will survive. And Captain goes, I don't want to survive. I want to live.
Poetry.
Come on.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Right.
That's so good. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Great quotes. You're right, Brandon.
It's only 6. It's brief.
Quality over numbers. Ratings.
You're down 3-1 right now.
That's right. But I have a better chance here to come back.
So Rotten Tomatoes, thermometer.
Oh, I'm supposed to guess.
That's for you, yeah.
Shit. I think the critics kind of liked Wally. I'm gonna go with a 96.
Oh, it's a 95.
Oh, we got 2 points there. Dang it.
I know.
That would have been huge. Damn.
95.
Who didn't like Wally? What earthly soul couldn't have liked Wally?
Yeah, what critic saw this and because Rotten Tomatoes just positive or negative
bad.
saw it.
It was like bad. Wally bad.
I get like 95 out of 100. Yeah, 5% of reviewers said bad.
That's absurd. Okay.
Audience score.
I think people might have liked Wally. I'm gonna say 96 again.
Oh, it's a 90.
Oh, I'm in there though.
3 now.
Too beautiful for some people.
And now we're going to Metascore out of 100.
This could be tough. I think people liked Wally. 87.
Ooh, this is critics is the Metascore.
I feel like you're saying that because I was wrong, and I can't change my answer. So 87.
You can if you want, but you said the people in it, so I wanted to make sure you knew it was the critics.
Oh, okay.
87?
87.
It's a 95. You're within 8.
Ooh, right at 8. Okay. I thought you were cluing me in there to go lower.
No.
I don't know. Oof.
And an audience score out of 10.
So I'm back up 4-3.
You're up 4-3.
Fuck, I'm demolishing this kid this round. Audience score out of IMDb 8.7.
8.4. You got to sweep this round. 5-3.
I needed it. I needed the clutch up to bury this poor bastard Seth, and I did.
Yeah. So critics gave it a 95 and a 95 for a 95. Audiences gave it a
man, Seth,
90 and an 84 for a 97. What are you giving Wally?
I'm gonna give Wally. Are we talking lasagna scale or are we talking Metascore?
We're talking lasagna.
Good. I'm glad you said that, Brandon. I'll say on the lasagna scale, a 9 point. You know it's going to be the 9s. It's Wally. Yeah. 9.5 for Wally. It's. I think it's right on that range of 5-star or 4.5-star movie for me. I don't know why. I can't really think of any reasons not to love Wally. It's Wally and Ratatouille are 1 and 2 for me for best favorite animated films of all time.
You did say that you thought Ratatouille might just barely edge out Wally, and you gave Ratatouille a 9.6. So they are like barely.
That and that wasn't like a conscious. Yeah, that just shows how deep we love these 2 Pixar movies. It's overall all else of this this company's oeuvre. I think a 9.5 for Wall-E. I cry. It might be like a 9.8 on some days too. What about you, Brandon?
You already know that I have a very huge soft spot for animation. Like basically, aside from Space Chimps and Emoji Movie, I guess, and Bobbleheads and Dougal, we never mind. We've done some shit on here,
Last Facticorn, yeah.
the last Facticorn was okay, but I have a soft spot for animation. I always seem to rate them higher than I think the normal viewer would. So I think this has to be at least an 8 for me.
Yeah, no kidding.
I think I'm going to give Wall-E. I'm torn.
Wow.
I'm torn between two numbers.
1 and then 7?
Yeah, it's between a 1.0 and a 7.0. No. I think I'm going to give it a 10.0.
Whoa.
Yeah.
The best movie of all time?
Maybe. I'm torn between
Whoa.
that and a 9.9. Like it, I think
well,
it's
I understand that. Yeah, 10.0 doesn't necessarily mean the best movie of all time, but perfect.
I don't
think
there's
I could.
anything wrong with this film.
There's a whole hell of a lot right with it. Wow.
I wax poetically about it, and I cry and I smile and I laugh, and the ability to give amazing visuals and music and everything in animation where it pushed the boundaries and made it unique, as well as creating a story and paying homage to classics like silent films and 2001.
Hello, Dolly.
You're doing things right. So it's
Damn.
it's a 9.9
out
of
a
a 10.
Is that your first ever? I believe you've done a 9.9 before.
I think I gave a 10 to Hot Rod on our 6th episode.
I think that's right.
It's not a 10 in hindsight when the podcast was first starting.
Yeah.
I think Florida Project I gave a 9.9. I think Napoleon Dynamite 9.8. 2001 I gave like a 9.8.
Might be the. It's rarefied ground. This is big stuff.
Big news. This is big news.
This is big news, people. Wow.
This is what movies is made of.
This is what we do it for. A 10.0.
Between it's a 9.7. So.
Yeah, holy shit. But only Florida Project maybe, or Napoleon Dynamite can rival it. But I don't know. Who do we have on for Napoleon Dynamite? Didn't we have a guest on?
Marina.
Yeah, and she didn't give it. She might have given it a 10, actually.
She did give it a 10 because you're like, that's a rookie move, Marina. Nobody gives a movie a 10. I'm going to give it a 9.9.
There you go. I mean, I've given it a 10 too, so.
You have given it a 10. Right. You want to know where this falls on our list of movies that we've done?
Please.
Oh, I forgot to put it in here. Shit. This falls.
It's at the top.
As the 5th best movie we've ever done.
Wow.
Just behind Spirited Away, It's a Wonderful Life, Alien, and The Shining.
You guys hated It's a Wonderful Life, so really it's like
we still gave it in the 7s. And then just below it is 2001: A Space Odyssey, A Brighter Summer Day, Ratatouille, The Exorcist, Groundhog Day, and Annie Hall.
Masterpiece. It's either masterpieces or in that category. Yeah.
And then just further down, you've got The Florida Project, The Fifth Element.
The best masterpiece. What the fuck is that doing up there?
When Harry Met Sally, Willy Wonka, A Christmas Story.
How is Fifth Element above When Harry Met Sally?
No, Harry Met Sally is above it, actually. But Fifth Element is above The Florida Project.
That is damnable to hell.
The Florida Project is right between The Mitchells versus the Machines, which is right below it, and right above it with the shadows.
Slight tangent. I'm so excited for Anora coming out in October. Sean Baker's new movie. Project. Even his last 2 movies, 5-star movies, just won the Con. They won the Palme d'Or at one Con.
Yep. That's gonna be big.
Anyways, but this is your 10-star movie. Let's do some. Let's hear what the critics had to say.
I also forgot to tell you guys that last week, because of all the technical difficulties, The Journey Absolution is the 10th worst film we've ever done. So
that makes sense.
So 10th worst and 5th best, back to back.
That makes sense. Well, that's us for us.
Plenty of reviews. So many. I've got 4
Was Big
critics.
Rock alive?
He was alive.
You review this.
Yes, but he's not my first one.
Who's your first one?
Todd McCarthy at Variety. He
Oh,
says, Pixar's
Big
ninth
Chief.
consecutive wonder. It was imaginative yet straightforward. It pushed the boundaries of animation by balancing esoteric ideas with more immediately accessible ones, and that the main difference between the film and other science fiction projects rooted in an apocalypse was its optimism.
Wow. Versus the normal pessimism of such dystopias.
Yeah, it's a great review.
That is.
Richard Crawlis at Times said, my favorite film of 2008 and later of the decade. The film succeeded in connecting with a huge audience despite the main character's lack of speech and emotional signifiers like a mouth, eyebrows, shoulders, and elbows. It evoked the splendor of the movie past and Wally and Eve's relationship similar to the chemistry of Spencer Tracy and Katharine Hepburn.
I like it, except for that he's like, your classic signifiers, your shoulders and your elbows.
Shoulders can give a lot, shrugs but elbows.
Like, what makes a human? Yeah.
Your elbow. Delivering a mean 12-6 elbow right now.
Yeah.
Shannon W. Coffin at the National Review said, Wall-E is elitist propaganda about the evils of mankind.
What the fuck is that?
I found a lot of hate about Wall-E, specifically from some hyper conservative reviewers and groups.
Well, of course, those
put consumerism and humans in a negative light.
That's because, Brandon, the people who exist on the far right, my father included, are incredible dumbasses. Just
Happy Father's Day to your father.
Yeah, happy Father's Day. Just the absolute cream of the crop of brains. That crew on the far right.
And my last one is by Big Rog at the Chicago Sun-Times. He says, Wall-E is an enthralling animated film, a visual wonderment, and a decent science fiction story. The scarcity of dialogue will allow it to cross language barriers in a manner appropriate to a global theme, and it would appeal to adults and children. Wall-E is concerned with ideas rather than the spectacle, and will trigger stimulating little thoughts for the younger viewers. The best science fiction movie in years, 4 out of 4.
Wow. And he gave the same score to Babe 2, Pig in the City, so you know.
Yeah, so you know it's good. Yeah,
is true.
Yeah. So
my other favorite, we love Big Rog, great review. My favorite fact is his partner Siskel, right? That was his favorite movie of the year when it came out, like 97. The last time he ever picked a favorite movie of the year.
I thought you were talking about Wall-E. No, Babe 2.
Babe 2, Pig in the City.
Yeah. We're gonna have to do that on here for sure.
I've heard it's crazy. I haven't seen it.
And then users. I've got plenty of returners. I think 5 of the 7. First up, Plankton Rules. This guy.
Mookie winner?
No. March 7th, 2009, he says, my problems with the story have to do with the anthropomorphizing the robots. They are not human, and they cannot possess feelings. Yet, in this Disney world, they do. Well, this is hard to believe, but even if this is so, the robots only have a bit of personality. They are not so lovable, and they have very limited vocabularies. Because of that, the first 39 minutes are pretty dull, and there isn't much to do other than watch Wall-E for the first 15 minutes or so, or Eve and Wall-E for the next 24 minutes. Once the humans are involved, it gets better, but only by just a bit. Most of the final segment of the film seems to be chase scenes, and the humans are given practically no personality as well. I don't see how kids sat still during the movies, and I assume this is a film that critics loved because I can't imagine younger kids loving this with the same fervor as Toy Story or Monsters, Inc. Overall, a lovely film to look at, but a rather unexpectedly dull story keeps it from a higher score. I know that puts me in the small minority, but this seems like Pixar's most overrated film. 7 out of 10.
I guess it's fair, I guess, for a detractor's view. Just was bored by it. A man of low taste, but sure.
He loves humans and he
He's a
loves
dumbass.
dialogue.
He's a dumbass.
Next up is by The Little Songbird. December 1st, 2009.
I
Bethany
haven't heard her in a
Cox
while. Yeah.
says, I heard mixed reviews on Wall-E. There were those who said it was magical, and those who said it was one of the most overrated movies ever. I will say I loved this movie. It's a truly beautiful movie. It could have done with being a tad longer, perhaps, but essentially, this is more than a movie with A-list vocal talents. Wall-E has genuine heart and will definitely enchant children and any Pixar fan. All I will say is that I am sorry it took me so long to see it. I will admit I was deferring whether I should see it or not, but I'm glad I did. The animation is simply incredible. The whole film was wonderful to look at. And what made the movie was Wall-E himself. He has to be one of the most lovable and in-depth Pixar characters ever, and the writers create a very haunting atmosphere in the early scenes to match our little hero's isolation. All in all, brilliant. Quite possibly one of the best films of 2008. 9 out of 10.
I don't know why she would be deferring it.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Not watching it. She watches everything. Weird.
I know.
That's her thing.
She's reviewed 11,000 movies, let alone just what she's watched.
I'm gonna skip Wall-E. I don't know.
I don't know about that one. Snoopy style, though.
Seth, Tigner.
On May 4th, 2014. Mostly Uber Brew now.
What's that?
It's another brewery bar owned by the same people.
Oh, okay.
Seth says, this is a cute movie. There's no dialogue with the robots. The use of robotic beeps and tones creates their voices. It's as much fun as any of the best silent movies starring Chaplin or Keaton. Most of the movie takes place without human dialogue. It is imaginative and original. It is another one of those amazing offers from Pixar. 8 out of 10.
Oh. Yeah, it's hard to argue when they're so positive with an 8, but I'm like, go higher, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Good review.
Prismark 10 on August 12th. Oh, almost your birthday.
Ah.
August 12th, 2014.
2014.
They say the film, although coming in from another angle of a robot wanting, even needing affection and finding it, which leads him. This doesn't make any sense. The film, although coming in from another angle of a robot wanting, even needing affection and finding it, which leads him to a journey in space, falls for some dependable Pixar plot points. There has to be a villain with a hidden agenda. There will be some pulsating but humorous chase scenes. Also, if the humans spend all their time on those hover chairs drinking fizzy drink all day, who was the person having the time to make all those babies? Because we get the impression that these people were too busy or empty to have personal relationships. The animation is of a very high standard, but the start might be deemed too slow, and the film looked awful flawed if you examine it too carefully. Also, the film ends up paying homage to 2001: A Space Odyssey. 6 out of 10.
I say like that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good thing. I don't care for plot points. Movies are just like they're stories, right? Who cares how they fucked? Right, a vacuum pulled out their sperm. It doesn't matter. It's a movie.
Honestly, it probably did.
Probably did.
Probably did.
That's what I think. Like all the cinema sins shit on YouTube, I hate all that shit.
Yeah.
The movie. Suspend your disbelief. Reality sucks. I hate rules.
This
is an fly.
This is an animated.
I wish your vacuum could suck my sperm out. Yeah.
I'm gonna clip that. That's just gonna be our intro. I wish a vacuum could suck my sperm.
Don't suck that. Yeah.
3 more. This might be a returner. Ambient music. I'm not sure.
No.
November 24th, 2009. They say Wall-E is one of my adult son's favorite movies. It is not one of my favorites. I will try to tell you why it left me empty. I am a liberal, and I view this movie as an indoctrination piece in the same vein as Fern Gully. I have no problems with indoctrination media. However, I am already indoctrinated. Beyond the fact that it is a beautiful piece of propaganda, Wall-E serves no purpose for me, and I found it unenlightening, and I believe that this movie has no place in the top movies of all time. 1 out of 10.
Weird review. Left her empty.
What a terrible
Her
review.
adult son liked it, though.
Yeah, I'm glad. What does she have against Fern Gully too?
I've never seen Fern Gully, so I can't.
Oh, I've seen it a couple times, but it's been decades.
That seems like a satirical review. Like,
Yeah,
I'm a liberal and I already brainwashed.
Last two. Ariel Sierre on May 19th, 2022 said, a great movie. No. A great movie from the year of 2008, along with Bolt, and way better than The Little Mermaid Ariel's Beginning. This movie is about two robots named Wally and Eve that love to go on great adventures, and the music was perfect. 10 out of 10.
Never heard of The Little Mermaid Ariel's Beginning.
They love
to check
Bolt
that out
too, though.
Bolt's, I don't know why Bolt's dog shit, I think, but whatever.
It's okay. And my last one is by Zul Ashish.
Turner.
No. May 1st, 2014, they say, I cannot believe this piece of trash ranks above movies like V for Vendetta in the IMDb top 250. 1 out of 10.
Go V for Vendetta. They're always of a type.
V for Vendetta, it's a good movie, but like, why that of all?
It's like the most dweeby movie of all time. Dweeby anarchist.
Dweeby.
Dweeby. That's a good way to. Fuck you. That's a good way to end Wally.
That's how we're gonna end it.
Month.
And Space Sluts.
Space Sluts Month. We'll be returning back to our first chaste selves.
We're doing a birthday month basically next.
Pretty much. We got Alex up this weekend, right?
Alex is next, and then we've got not a birthday episode, but Devin's going to be here in town, so Devin's going to be joining us. We got Seth's birthday, then we got nothing. I mean, we do have movies like episodes coming up, but not birthday. And Marina's birthday, and that'll end July. But then we've got another episode, and then your birthday, and then that's the end of the season. So we got a lot of things coming up.
You didn't ask if I would recommend Wally. Is that because you know I'm going to recommend Wally?
Yeah, I think it goes without saying with a 9.5 and a 10.0. We're going to recommend Wally. Please watch it.
Yeah. Any edition. On your phone.
Any subtraction.
Ooh, new edition.
Any multiplication.
Nice.
Any division.
What's the movie next week?
Alex's birthday choice joining us. It's a 2010 mental health dramedy called It's Kind of a Funny Story.
I fucking don't know this shit.
I'd never heard of it either. It's got Zach Galifianakis returning from G-Force fame.
Of course. Nominee, Wookiee Award winner. Wookiee nominee, Zach Galifianakis.
Was he?
No, maybe. Because he was the human in that, right? All the hamsters got nominated.
Yeah. So that's gonna end it this week.
Maybe he'll get one.
Thanks for listening.
Do some pull-ups. It's good for your mentals.
And your pecs. Get those pecs nice and hard.
Yeah, peck up. It's a hot peck summer.
Hot peck summer. A little pick me up with a little peck me up.
Ooh, make it so that men can breastfeed this summer too. Adios.
Bye.
Dang, 10. I was like, whoa. I knew it was going to be up there.
I didn't know if I was giving it I've been rattling my brain between.
I think 10, because the way I framed it for mine was like, this is like the best I've ever seen. But I don't think that necessarily, like, I think you can frame it as two movies can be 10.0s or whatever.
I think I have a lot of movies as like a 10 out of 10.
They're perfects. Yeah. I mean, I don't fault Wally at all for being perfect. It's pretty fucking perfect. Pretty transcendent. Do you want me to? I'll upload this file right now and send it to you.
Sweet. That'll help me a lot. I'm almost done with the first part.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Then Birth is coming.
Birth is coming. And Frank.
Frank's so good. I don't know, maybe on the second watch of Birth, I might just revile it.
Yeah, that would be crazy. 1 out of 10.
Such a polarizing. I think it has like a 30% on Rotten Tomatoes or something.
Maybe you should watch Martyrs again and you'd love it.
If you throw up, Brandon. Yeah.
Wasn't that bad.
Nowadays, it was very bad.
No, it was pretty good.
It's so graphic. That's I can't handle.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah. It's taking a minute to upload. That's okay. Or things.
Good. It's my day off this week. We went to the zoo.
What's the best exhibit that Billings do?
Today, well, it was kind of hot out, so nothing was out at the time we were. Today was probably the red panda was moving around.
Ooh. Yeah, it's like the mornings right when they open, and if it's like rainy, and we'll love that shit.
Otters are probably the best exhibit, actually.
Otters are really they swim around and shit.
Mm-hmm.
One time at the Seattle Aquarium, there's a little bonus for the people still watching the YouTube. When I was like 10, my little sister was like 8 or something, a little baby shark was born at the aquarium in like an open, it was like an open air tank thing. And as soon as the baby shark was born, everyone's like watching, like, ah, a seagull came and picked it up.
Really?
Yeah, took the baby shark right away.
Is a baby shark that small?
It wasn't like a great white, it was like a nurse shark or something. The baby shark was like this big or something probably. And I was like, oh my God, amazing. And I was like swimming, and then that seagull came and fucking grabbed it.
That's so mean.
Everyone's like,
yeah, that's gruesome for sure.
and
Do you see
one time,
Do you see the
go ahead.
video of I don't know what zoo it was, but a chimpanzee's fucking another chimp, and then the one chimp is
Oh,
leaning against the glass jerking it, and so the
no.
chimp that's getting fucked starts crawling towards the one jerking it, and the jerking it one starts like cupping her chin.
What the fuck? I think
I
this was a
this
different
happened.
video you saw.
No, this happened. I promise you. I
The
showed
bit where the
Marina.
humans dressed like. Why was your mom showing Burrito this?
I showed Marina this. It popped up on my TikTok
Why are you showing your wife this?
because she was intrigued.
Oh, that's obscene. That's okay. Pimps are more like us than we think, aren't they?
I got it.
Later, Pimp Squeak.
See ya.
King.
Pimp squeak.